Okay, welcome everyone. Today I'm going to show you how we mount the 7G T-belt transmission onto the 4-stroke motorized bicycle engine, the Hushang 142F. You've got the motor. You have the transmission plate which goes on. You have the large transmission wheel in your kit. You have the clutch assembly. Be careful, in your bag with the clutch assembly you have the key which goes on the shaft. You can't install it properly without that. You have the transmission cover. You have the belt. And you've got a bag with hardware that has the Allen cap screws which go onto it, which hold it on. Inside your kit you have your transmission tool, which you will need to properly adjust the tension on the large transmission wheel to adjust the belt. You're going to need some of the blue Loctite thread locker. Don't get the red, don't use the permanent stuff. You want the removable thread locking compound. And tools you need: a 3/16 hex key Allen wrench, an 8mm combo wrench, and a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is mount the transmission plate onto the motor. You have your 4 holes here that are into the transmission plate. That's what's going to mount the plate to the motor. You have the recessed area where the screws will go into so they can be recessed into it. That is going to go outboard. You have the flange area which is going to go inboard. So let's dig into our bag of hardware. Let's get out the longer screws. Put lock washers on them. Go ahead and put the thread locking compound on it. So this is the bottom of the motor. You want the transmission flange to go to the back part of the motor where the carburetor is, or the opening for the transmission wheel. Want to get all 4 of the Allen cap screws in there. Don't get them tight until you get them all closely, get them snugged up just a little bit. That'll allow the transmission plate to kind of be centered properly. Got each one just starting to tighten up just a little bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give each one about a half a turn. Yeah, no, not even a quarter of a turn. Should be plenty tight. Yeah, about a quarter of a turn after it starts to seat is working on this one here. And I've got each one fairly snug. You don't want to over tighten it. This is fairly fine thread and fairly small thread, so that's good there. Next we're going to put the clutch on. I've had some people get the clutch backwards. With the clutch, you've got the flange, the raised part here on the center, and then you have the bottom part which is going to go into the motor where it's kind of recessed. Bottom line, you want the clutch to go furthest down possible so you can measure it and see which way it goes down the most. Bottom line, if you have it wrong, when you put the clutch bell on, it won't spin freely. It'll be engaged. It'll be meshing against the clutch. So if I had it on backwards, it would be rubbing against the clutch. Here, let's get out the key. Don't want to lose that. Be very careful when you unpack it. If it's not in the bag that the clutch came in, look around. It might be in the box somewhere. And I'm putting a little lubricant on the shaft and on the key. Careful, you don't want to get any lubricant on your pads here. That doesn't feel right. It's not going down as far as it should. So let's try this. Push it on there and then push the key in. I have the Woodruff key going all the way in. It's underneath the flange. That way when I put the bronze collar on, it's not going to strike it. Let's put the clutch bell on. Put the bronze sleeve on it. You then have the collar here, which goes in. Let's put some thread locker on the screw. What I'll do, I'll take my Phillips screwdriver, push it in there, and you turn it, and you'll catch something in there in the backing plate. And then you can torque down your screw. You want it fairly snug. You don't want to strip it. That's good to go. Give your clutch bell a spin. As you can see, it's turning freely. If I had the clutch reversed, had it the wrong way, it would be binding. Now let's go ahead and get the transmission wheel on. Okay, the belt tension is adjusted by rotating this collar here. If you look at it, where the shaft goes through is offset. So as you turn it, that will move the transmission wheel in and out. What I do is just go ahead and stab it. Find my tool here and rotate it to where the transmission wheel is as close as I can get it to the spline on the clutch. Then want to put the transmission belt on. Rotate it. And then start to torque it. You get it to where it's tight, it's snug. You can see there's 4 holes for the screws to go into. We've got 4 flat washers that come with the kit. You have the 4 shorter Allen cap screws. Big transmission wheel on there. I've got my screws lined up. You'll have to rotate the wheel in order to get access to all of the screws. The mounting holes for the screws. Put a dab of thread locker on it. And just screw it down enough right now to where when you turn the wheel it doesn't hit the head of the Allen screw. Turn the wheel to get to the access to the next mounting hole. Final one. Okay, now what I want to do is get my belt snug. Use my transmission tool here. And as you can see, let's adjust this a little bit. The tool goes into the slot here, and you push down on the back, and that's what gets it snug. You don't want to get it super tight. You do want to get it taut though. And let's go ahead and tighten up the mounting bolts here, the mounting screws. Give it a turn. I'm just getting them just fairly snug. Not getting my final torque on it yet. There we go, so I don't need the tool anymore now that I have them all snug. Well, that was easy. Okay, so we're more or less set here. All we need to do is mount on the cover. You have 3 holes here where your Allen screws go, where your Phillips head screws go through. And then you have the hole in the back. You have a small bolt here with an 8mm head on it. We're going to put the lock washer on the flat washer. And in the back of the transmission mounting plate here, you have a threaded hole. You have your bracket here, your mounting bracket. Let's go ahead and put a little dab of Loctite on it. Get it started. Got that snug. Now, one thing you want to be mindful of. One thing you want to be mindful of is when you put your cover on, you have this other 8mm bolt which will go through this side here. You want to make sure that it doesn't strike the belt. It looks good here. Let's get the cover on it. The cover will go over the mounting bracket here. The holes here aren't lining it up perfectly. So, just a little love tap on the bottom here. See if that gets us enough room. And yep, I think we're gonna make it. I put my 3 screws in first in the front here. Get my first screw in. I'm not tightening it up yet, because I still want to have a little wiggle room to get everybody lined up properly. And I'm going to leave those loose. And focus on this one here. Thread locker. You don't want to get this too tight. You do want to get it just a little snug, because it is plastic. That's why I'm putting some thread locking compound on it. Now I want to reach in behind it here and turn the wheel. Make sure it's not binding on the cover. We're looking good there. And tighten up the screws here. And we're good to go. Be sure with your brand new 4-stroke motors, you want to fill it with oil. Use 30 weight detergent oil on it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Click subscribe, share it. Hey, thanks for watching.